Assalamu alaikum. I would like to address some issues while we have a class going on, so please excuse the noise. Uh, I'm noticing certain trends developing, and they've been going on for a long time now. People hear aiki and aiki and they think of a definitive shape. When you first come in, we do teach a particular format and shape to work from. But after you learn to ingrain this into your body, your framework, and learn how to receive force, process force, and return it, this shape becomes unimportant then. So learn the shape, internalize the shape, and then forget the shape because under duress, you're not going to get what we call jokingly Frankenstein arms, where you're like this, and it doesn't happen like that under duress. So I just want to talk to you about a few things. People see Aiki and often think it's fluff or it's not effective. In our dojo, we we do a lot of connective work from the wrist and the forearm, but anything that we do from the wrist and forearm can be done against punches, kicks, grabs, because aikiage and aikisage is something much more than a hazushi waza, a warding off technique. And I think that's where people mess up. When you first start learning and you get grabbed in katate dori, we do start talking to you about the body and different shapes and what you can do with your hands, kaisho no den, fudo daiji, how to connect. But then after you get this, you have got to learn to do it with a closed fist, my hand here, here, my palm up, my palm down. You can't worry about a definitive shape while you're in action. Now, wrist grabs can work. Suppose Mitch has a blade that he brings up, and I happen to bring it to the side and grab him here. As you can see, grabs happen. Grabs to the forearm, that isn't how I handle it. I'm just giving you examples. There are grabs that happen. If a guy goes to grab my throat, and you must work under duress. We here at the Senjukan Dojo, we train against a lot of force. Just training here tonight, Aisha, working one of the applications, didn't get her body out the way and got punched in the face. It's nothing personal. I feel far too many Aiki arts. It's not that the techniques or the waza are bad, it's the training format. You have to leave Shomanuchi, Yokomanuchi, and get into some punch-kick combinations, and sometimes they're going to come through. But that being what it is, when I'm grabbed katate dori, I don't want to have him grab and have a step one, step two, then I do kaisho no den, then I do fudo daiji, which puts him out. What do you feel?
I am falling back.
And what do you feel through your body?
My arm is locked.
Okay, so that's hiji no bashi. But it's nice to be able to do these, okay? And it looks like he doesn't have me, but I'm into his structure. So after you learn the definitive shapes of these things, then you're going to have to learn to leave. And you'll see now, I'm going to relax my arm, and when I'm grabbed, there's not going to be any kaisho no den. So when I'm grabbed, I can keep my hand here. As you see, it's a fist. What do you feel?
Now is a waving motion
You feel
in
a wave
conjunction with the lock.
coming through the body.
Right.
Right. So you don't have to have what we call Frankenstein arms. Open the hands, raise them like this. If my hand is here and I get grabbed, I cannot ask him to fix it to come into these. What do you feel coming through your body?
That time I raised up, then the wave.
Okay? So in other words, you're not going to have even a second to reshape your hand. He intends to grab me like this. That does not mean that that's what I have to allow. Let go. Now when he grabs, I can turn this, but I have to know how to utilize these shapes. So if I'm talking here and someone grabs me, I have to work from where I am. What did you feel there?
That time the energy came from the outside and then went through me and drove me down.
So what you don't want is a swing of the arm independent of the body. It has to work through. Do you feel that in your structure? I mean, I can get to any lock that I want, all this, but I have got to understand that there are definitive principles at work here, but I cannot, for the life of me, rely only on something that looks like this. It's ridiculous. Now, if you understand your kenjutsu, you can get to all this stuff from any angle, any grab. You cannot have anything to do beyond the kata, when you start working free flow with people, if I have anything to do with how he attacks me, then it is something dead. It's something complacent. Another thing, I don't want to go, ha! And then he grabs me. I want him, whether it's 1 second, 5 seconds, or 3 minutes, to just sit there, and then he grabs when he does, so that I can do what I need to do. What took you down there?
I could not see Sensei, but it felt as if the wave went up and then down.
So nami.
Um,
So what I do is I find different ways to come through different parts of the body. Some of them are through the joints. I can cause hijinobashi, or I can do some soft tissue work, which, and Mitch is extremely muscular. So I have to really have my stuff down. But I can do soft tissue work. I'm not relying on his joints at all here. Then as I do work like this, I can make him run into something. Okay? So let's get away from the idea, and I'm not trying to do anything with Waza or impress with anything with Aiki. The point is that if I happen to be here talking and he grabs me with both hands, I can't go, how can I find Aikiage? Because from here in this position, I don't want to run into my shoulders. But what I can do is create some kind of situation where I can send force back into his body, but it can't be just dependent on a definitive shape, if that makes sense. Assalamu alaikum. Good.